I'm gonna find out who's lactating today.
I am a lactator, honey.
So here's what's going down today. The Austin International Drag Festival. So you have all these headliners. You have Poo Poo Platter, May See Some Cocks, Eaton Johnson, and then E. So I came across E, and that's one of the headliners. And that looks like a boy dressed as a woman in drag. We've even recently seen Lactatia, the 8-year-old boy whose parents allow him to dress in drag so he can be paraded around at drag festivals.
Just step up here. You're young and spry. Guys, children up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what your children will be wearing in the future. Yes, this is amazing.
I brought my rig too, I just left it in my other pants.
That's as racy as I'm gonna go. I'm kidding, I'm totally gonna go racier than that. How many days does it take to run a cable under the stage? Apparently more than 2.
She had just dropped in for campus. Big guys with a smoking campus. Well, she ain't flying in on a bubble butt. She a 10 with a bubble butt.
Teach the children. Whew, I'm all about education. I actually do story time with drag queens in Chicago. Right? Yes, family programming. Love it, yes. If all of the children in the audience could plug their ears, because I'm just kidding. Trump's our president, we can say whatever we want. Please welcome to the stage, Cunty Hornet! Ladies and gentlemen, Cunty Hornet, one more time.
I've married a boy who'd rather be a girl, but he never curls my toes for me like a boy should do a girl. He's stacked like a boy, but in the boudoir he don't attack.
You had little boys dressed in drag at this event, and they were watching and participating in what most people would consider mature content.
Please welcome to the stage the wonderful, the amazing, the dragnificent E.
E was the performer's name, the youngest drag queen around. That's how they announced him. And he, she, whatever, was rolling around on the ground, jumping around, performing. And essentially the format was to dance around seductively, remove some articles of clothing even, and people give you money, throw dollars at you, like what you would see at a strip club. And this is really disturbing because it's grooming children so that when they become adults, it's all natural and part of it.
You are amazing, and you keep doing you. I'm presenting you with your very own drag pride flag.
Give it up!
It's kind of creepy because it reminds me of when you see those creepy toddler and tiaras performances where you have these beauty queens and it already seems like the children are being sexually exploited. But now you have young little boys dressed in drag performing on stage in front of a bunch of adults, most of them men. Okay, there were a lot of like regular looking men that love to flirt with the drag queens and throw dollars at them and wink at them and throw kisses at them. They essentially looked like Johns, if you ask me. But they're dancing around in front of these men for this taboo fetish, and you've got little kids doing it, little kids being drugged into this culture. You know, if you're an adult and you want to participate in this fetish, you want to dress up in drag, you want to subscribe to this culture, that's perfectly fine, but you cross the line when you start dragging children into the middle of it.
There, go pick your cabbage, baby, pick your cabbage.
They should leave these children alone and let them develop their sexuality on their own in their own time and not be forcing these weird taboo fetishes on them.
He was born a white man with the name Adam, but now a Florida man considers himself to be a Filipino named Jadu. Jadu is transracial. That's a person who was born one race but identifies with another. The most famous case is Rachel Dolezal, who was born white but identified as black. Dolezal rose to become president of a local U.S. chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. She resigned after she was revealed to be white. Jadu told Florida television station WTSP that he grew up around Filipino food and culture. He said, quote, "Whenever I'm around the music, around the food, I feel like I'm in my own skin." Jadu says he hasn't come out to his family and worries they won't treat him seriously.
Germany is set to recognize a third gender from birth. On November 8th, Germany's Federal Constitutional Court released a statement to say parents will be able to register their baby on a birth certificate with a gender that is neither male nor female. This ruling makes Germany the first European country to designate a third box for parents to tick when registering intersex babies. The case was recently taken to Germany's High Court by a woman who was born intersex, and the court ruled in her favor. A chromosome test had confirmed that the woman is neither male or female. And according to United Nations, this condition affects 1.7% of the world's population. Druid Option, who have been advocating for a third gender, described the result on Twitter as a, quote, "small revolution." The new law is expected to come into action by the end of 2018.
Australians have voted overwhelmingly in favor of legalizing same-sex marriage. A bill to change the law was sent to Parliament on Wednesday, November 15th, after more than 61% of people backed the move in a recent postal vote. The survey asked one question: should the marriage law be changed to allow same-sex couples to marry? On Wednesday, thousands gathered in Sydney Park to find out how people voted. The result was also celebrated on Twitter by celebrities such as Kylie Minogue and Boy George. Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, who supports same-sex marriage, said people voted yes for fairness, commitment and love. Even though the vote was voluntary and non-binding, the Australian government said it will try and pass the legislation by the end of the year. The move is a big one for Australia. Only 10 years ago, it was still illegal in some states to engage in homosexual activity.
The capital of Japan is now home to its first official non-human resident. The Shibuya ward of Tokyo recently granted residency to an artificial intelligence bot named Mirai. Mirai does not have a body and exists only as a chatbot on the popular messaging app Line. Its programmed personality is that of a 7-year-old boy who could have conversations with users through text messages. According to Newsweek, Mirai was designed in partnership with Microsoft to help make local government more accessible and familiar to residents. The Shibuya ward said, quote, "His hobbies are taking pictures and observing people, and he loves talking with people. Please talk to him about anything." Mirai is Japan's first artificially intelligent resident and possibly the first virtual resident anywhere. Japan's announcement comes a little over a week after Saudi Arabia became the first nation to grant citizenship to a robot.